Welcome to part 2 of our Troubleshooting DS Control Point video. Today we're going to jump right into it and discuss one of the most popular questions that we have, and that is the status light on the front of DS Control Point shows as amber, and then if you look at the DSSI icon, it is a triangle. Now the question we get is how to clear that. So to understand this issue, this is directly tied into DS Control Point. To clear this, it is done under alarm pop-up. Now, if this is not enabled, it will first need to be enabled. That is done simply by clicking on alarm pop-up and then clicking on enabled. In our example here, alarm pop-up has already been enabled. Now, with this enabled, let's take a look at the DSSI icon and what we'll see when an error message is present. As we can see here, the DSSI icon is a yellow triangle with an exclamation point. This is an indication that the DSSRV system is in an error state. Now let's take a further look into the DSSI. If we look at the top, we can see it says Digital Sentry System Information. Below that, we can see the system status. Now, the one we're looking for is under Status Check. That shows the errors that are in the system. As we can see, the overall status is a warning, and then we have a message there. In this case, it's problem communicating with the IP camera. An important note on this, Digital Sentry does not automatically clear resolved errors. What this means in this particular case, if this camera had been brought back online, this error would still remain. Okay, so let's close the DSSI screen, and as you can see, we're under the alarm section of DS Control Point, but we don't see any alarms. We can see the clear alarms button, but there are no alarms present, yet we know from our DSSI system information that there is an alarm. Now this is because an option within the alarm pop-up page is checked. That option is allow systems to be configured individually. We need to go in there and check that. Once we do, the alarms will show for this system. With the alarms now showing under the Alarms tab in DS Control Point, we can now click the Clear Alarms button to clear all the alarms. With the alarms now cleared from DS Control Point, you'll notice the DSSI icon is still a yellow triangle. This is because it takes a few seconds before it updates. With the alarms cleared, the DSSI icon has now changed to blue with an eye in the middle. This is an indication that the system is running normally and there are currently no errors. Now, a note that needs to be made. To clear false alarms, the process is the same. Now, if an issue is actually resolved a few seconds after the icon goes blue, it will then return to the yellow triangle. That's a clear indication that the problem still exists within the system. With the system information now showing a healthy system, let's take a look at live video and one of the more common questions we see on it, what to do if we see gray video. Now, the two most common causes of gray video on a DS Control Point system is going to be network latency or a lack of bandwidth. Now, going back to our previous video on networking with the DSSRV, this is why we recommend separating the security network from the office day-to-day network. Doing this helps reduce instances where we see gray video. So let's take a look at how we will resolve this if we're in a situation where we weren't able to separate the two networks, or even possibly we still are seeing this issue even with the networks being separated. So what we would do here is we would lower the bandwidth settings within DS Control Point. And to do that, we go into Setup and then Application Settings. Now, here in Application Settings, we click on the Bandwidth tab, and we can see we've already adjusted this one. what happens is when you slide the slider, it will reduce the frames per second. This alleviates the bandwidth requirement. The good thing about this is this only applies to this client machine. So if you have other machines that have access to more bandwidth, we can leave it at the no limit option. Once again, thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please remember to like and subscribe. And remember, at Pelco, we've got it all covered.